Remember how slow high school felt? And all you can think about was just going home? Well, now you might have wished you enjoyed high school. Those days were actually the good days. The days of adulthood are by far worse. Sometimes I just wish I can go back. Not that I missed high school itself, but just the lack of responsibilities that I had. Back in those days, life was much more simple. Life was much more fun, more slow. Back then, social media was a thing, but it didn't consume our lives. It wasn't the main focus. But now everything just seems so rushed. It's like the days just blur together, and there's never enough time to just breathe. Back then, our biggest worry was a homework assignment, or maybe who we were gonna sit with at lunch. Those memories felt stressful at the time, but looking back, they were nothing compared to what we deal with now. Remember how exciting it was to chill with your friends after school? Didn't even need money or a plan. You'd walk around the neighborhood, sit at a park, just talk about nothing for hours. Those moments felt so small then. Now that I'm older, I realize those moments were everything. I just miss the simplicity of it all. Those carefree nights, all the laughs, the feeling that life was just beginning. Just not worried about anything. Life was simple. After school, I'd grab some snacks, throw my bag on the floor, and hop on my Xbox. It wasn't even about winning or losing at that time. It was just about having fun with the homies, laughing over stupid jokes, and just losing track of time. I really do miss those Xbox parties. They were like our little escape from reality. Miss being able to just live in the moment. Back then, the future just seemed so far away, like we had all the time in the world. Now it just seems like the world is moving too fast, and I can't even catch up. It's crazy how we couldn't wait to grow up and be adults, to have that independence. Now that we're here, all we want is to go back. And it's not necessarily like we want to go back to high school itself, but it's more so to relive the feeling of being carefree, being young and just having the whole world ahead of you. Sometimes I close my eyes and think about those late nights on Xbox, or those summer afternoons I had chilling with the homies, just losing track of time. It almost feels like I can go back, like I can reach out and touch those moments. Then I open my eyes, and I'm back here, in the present, back to reality. It's okay to miss the past. It's okay to reminisce. It's okay to think about old times. Those are the times that made us. They remind us of who we are. And maybe they remind us of who we still want to be. Things were much slower back then. Now everything just seems to be moving so fast. Weeks turn into months. And before you know it, another year has gone by. Back then, there were no bills, no rent to pay. You didn't have to worry about making ends meet. Things were great. Sometimes as an adult, we just wish we could go back, man. It's just so exhausting, man. You wake up, go to work, come home, then you do it all over again the next day. It's like we're stuck in this endless cycle, just working to survive, basically, with little time to actually live. I really do miss the simplicity of being a kid, when you didn't have to think about anything. And now that I'm in my late 20s, there's just this constant pressure to have everything figured out, to have a career, be in a relationship, maybe even own a house. People expect you to settle down, to have a plan now. But the truth of the matter is, none of us have it figured out yet. Most of us are just winging it day by day. Everything seems to be extremely expensive nowadays. Groceries, rent, just the cost of living in general. It just feels like no matter how hard you work, no matter how much you work, it's just never enough. It's like the world keeps demanding more and more and more, while you're just trying to keep your head above water. When we were kids, life felt manageable. Problems were small. Solutions were simple. Got a bad grade in school, study harder next time. Didn't get picked for the basketball team, try again. But now, problems just feel so much bigger, man. And the solutions are just never clear. You mess up and there's just no safety net. The consequences feel permanent now. Being an adult can be tough, man. Sometimes I feel like just yesterday I was a teenager, then with a blink of an eye, here I am in my late 20s, trying to figure everything out. I miss when life wasn't so complicated, when there was nothing to stress about. But all in all, as much as we miss the past, we gotta move on. The past is beautiful, but it's gone. It's like a song you loved as a kid. You can replay it, you can feel it, but you can never truly go back to it, to that moment. Life is gonna keep moving forward. Whether we're ready or not, life is gonna keep going. And as much as adulthood feels overwhelming, we have to find strength in the present. The truth is, we're stronger now than we were back then. All those challenges we face now, they shape us. They make us tougher, wiser, more resilient. But even as we navigate the chaos that adulthood brings, it's important to hold on to that piece of ourselves from the past. That kid who stayed up late playing Xbox with friends, who rode bikes until the street lights came on, who didn't have a care in the world. That kid is still in all of us. But yeah, life is harder now. It's messier, it's faster, and it's definitely more complicated. But we have to keep moving forward, even when it feels like we're stuck, even when it feels like we can't go anywhere. Because the truth is, the best way to honor the past is to make the most of the present. Take time to slow down, take time to breathe. It's okay to miss the old days, but don't get so lost in them, because getting lost in the old days will only just hurt your future going forward. Life might not feel as simple now. That doesn't mean it can't get better. If you're struggling, you're not alone. We all are. But maybe we can all find a way to enjoy this chapter of our lives and leave the past behind for good.